what we could have been, what we should have been.
Hey girls, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, I'm Akai Michelle. Today we have another makeup tutorial. This video is dedicated to all my beginners. I'm walking you through my makeup routine step by step so you can get some of the most flawless glam of your life. This is the only makeup tutorial you'll ever need. Okay girls, so as you can see, we're starting off with a clean base. I already did my skincare routine earlier, but before we do our makeup, we need another layer of moisturizer, okay? Your skin needs to be hydrated and prepped to go. You're wondering why your concealer looks cakey and cracked. It's because that skin is cakey and cracked. I've really been loving my Lawless Forget the Filler cream, so I'm going in with this today. Perk, it's pink. Like, how stinking cute is that? I'm gonna go in with a nice layer of moisturizer before we prime. Make sure you get those under eyes because that seems to be a problem area for many. Now that our skin is all moisturized, we can go in with some primer. Primer is going to make sure your makeup lasts all day by giving it something to stick to. It's also just going to help elevate your base. I'm using a favorite of mine today, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I've used this primer with so many different moisturizers and foundations, and I never have a problem with it pilling. You know, when you're applying product and you get little balls of product underneath. So that's why I really like this one, because it goes with so many of my products in my collection. After primer, I like to get the brows out the way, so I'm going in with my Kosas Brow Gel. Y'all, recently I've been stepping away from the laminated look. Who am I? I don't even know, girl. I've just been liking a thinner brow, so I haven't been gelling my brow straight up anymore. When you're combing brow gel through your brows, I typically go up in the front of my brow, horizontal throughout the middle, and then angle the tail of my brow down. Then I'm just going to comb across the top, putting them all in the direction I want them to go. Okay, now that our base is all prepped, we can get into the fun stuff. Today for foundation, I'm using my Patrick Ta Major Skin Foundation. A quick tip for all of my girls who are trying to find a foundation match, you always want to match it to your chest because it's going to be the closest to the rest of your body. And whenever I'm in Sephora looking for a new foundation, I'll take one that I know already matches me. So for example, I would go up to the Patrick Ta tester, take the shade, put some on my hand, and then I will test all the other foundations to the shade that I know already matches me. That way I don't have to swatch everything on my chest. I'll just find the closest match to the one I know matches me at home. Because sometimes, girl, those Sephora lights be a little tricky, okay? I don't know what color this is. Now to apply this, I'm using this brush from Sephora, number 64, but any flat, dense, larger brush will work. Now I'm just going to tap this while doing circular motions across my face. I'm starting with my perimeter and then working closer to the center of my face. As you can see, this brush just makes everything look super airbrushed. It's giving I'm applying another layer of skin. Get into it. I start from the perimeter and work my way inwards because the center of my face is going to have the most amount of product. That's where concealer, bronzers, and everything is going to be. While the perimeter of my face is not going to get as much, so we want to make sure she's covered with foundation. I start off with a light amount of foundation and then work my way up if I need some more coverage. This foundation especially is super buildable, and I'd rather apply less than what I need than more than what I need. That's how you get cakey, girl. Okay, now that our foundation is on, you can see we have a nice even color. We can go in with some concealer. I'm going in with a concealer that has a few shades lighter than my skin tone to highlight and brighten certain areas on my face. When you're highlighting, you want to place concealer on the areas that light naturally hits your face. That's going to be under your eyes and all the higher points like your nose bridge, your cupid's bow, and your chin or forehead. Today I'm using my Too Faced concealer in the shade Cookie. I'm going to apply this in the inner corner and outer corner of my eye. I'm going to apply this on my cupid's bow and my chin. I'm going to hit the other areas I mentioned, like my nose bridge and my forehead, with whatever's left on my brush because I don't want those areas to be too concentrated. Taking my Hourglass concealer brush, I'm just going to tap and blend everything out. Starting off with the edges of the concealer, you want those parts to be the most blended. As you can see, it just melts into my foundation perfectly. Once all the edges are blended, we can work our way inwards. You want to look up while you're blending your concealer out to prevent any creasing. Literally flawless. I love this Hourglass brush because not only is it the perfect density to blend out your concealer, but it's also the perfect size. Like, it gets right into my inner corner. For cream products like concealer or foundation, or any product where I want more coverage, I typically go in with a denser brush. Versus when I'm applying things like powders or any products where I want less coverage, I'll go in with a looser packed brush with less density. I would use a brush like this for powders while I'm using a brush like this for creams. Now with whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to tap my forehead and my nose bridge. Baby, my forehead already got enough light hitting it, okay? My forehead is kind of on the bigger side. So that's why I don't like to highlight her too much, but I mean, for my girls with small foreheads, 3 heads, 2 heads, y'all go ahead and highlight. Me, on the other hand, with this 5, oh, bookie. I'll do something really light and slight. Now that our face is all highlighted, we can get into some cream contouring. For this step, you want to go in with a concealer that's a few shades darker than your skin tone. This is going to add dimension and shadows to your face. I prefer a concealer shade that's more on the warm side so I look nice and bronzy, but if you just want to add shadows, you would use something more cool toned. But I like to look really sun-kissed. I'm going in and applying some of this on a palette just so that I can control the amount of product I'm using. You can get a stainless steel palette like this from Amazon. It's super cheap, but if you don't have one, you can also use the back of your hand, or you can apply it straight to your face. I just prefer not to because I don't want my product to look as harsh, so I typically apply it to a palette like this. For this step, I'm taking this angled brush from Hourglass because it's going to fit into the hollow of my cheek perfectly. I'm going to tap some product down, starting in the higher point of that hollow and working my way down. Of course, you always want to blend the makeup into your hairline, especially if you're going to take photos. It will look horrendous if you don't blend it into your hairline, okay? That flash is going to get you. Baby, some contour on that forehead, child. Y'all heard my speech a little bit ago. When you're blending your cream contour, it's kind of going to be like a big 3 on your face. You're going to go in your forehead, cheekbone, sideburn area, and down your jawline. All those places that you want to look really snatched. So just think of it like a 3. And blend it downward on your neck because you don't want the lights to catch you. And again, your face stops right here. And then this is a whole different tone, okay? So just go ahead and blend it down. If you're caught in the wrong light, you're going to turn to the side. 2 different people. We don't need that. I'm also taking what's left on this brush and sweeping it right through my lid. Girl, this is eyeshadow in 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, your eyeshadow is so pretty. It's just cream bronzer. And taking this mini brush, I tap it into that darker concealer and apply it down my nose. I don't like a harsh contour on my nose, so I'm just going to drag this along the edge and sweep it up into my brow. This is going to prevent any harsh lines and make us look really seamless. Right into your brow. Okay, just like that, we are all contoured. Our face looks nice and snatched. I love it. Okay, we can get into some blush now. For my liquid blush, I'm using this one from Hourglass in the shade Whim. It's a pinky tone. I love a cute pink blush. You gotta shake her well, Bookie. And I'm actually taking a really fluffy eyeshadow brush to apply this. This one is looser density because I want less coverage for my blush. And the key to your blush is going to be applying it to the higher points of your cheek, into your temple, and applying it right where your concealer meets with your contour. This is just going to marry the 2 together. Applying it to the higher points of your cheek is going to lift and sculpt your face. And applying it on the borders of that lighter and darker concealer shade is going to mesh the 2 together. I like to sweep this underneath my under eye to ensure a proper blend. Okay, girl, now when it comes to liquid and cream products, you can stop there. Me, I'm a little bit extra. I like a bright under eye, okay? So I go in with another shade of concealer. Today I'm using my Hourglass concealer in the shade Sienna. I'm going to be very light with how much of this I apply because I want to do a whole nother coat. This is just going to go in my inner and outer corner of my eye. As you can see, it's so much less than what I applied with my initial coat. And this time I'm blending her out with a sponge. Now when you're using a beauty blender, you want to make sure it is both clean and damp. If it is dry, then don't play with me, okay? Clean and damp. Going in with a dirty, dry beauty blender is going to lead to cakey, cracked makeup. We don't want that. I'm going to go in and tap this underneath. This is also going to help us blend out all those creases that might have happened while we were applying some other products. And you want to put powder while you still have creases because then you're going to set your creases in place. That's crazy. So you want to make sure that under eye is all blended. Just like that. How stinking beautiful. Now, not only have we blended our concealer, but we've even blended our blush as well. That line right there that we had separating our concealer and our blush is now gone because we went in with our sponge. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love it. You can go in with the butt of your sponge to blend in any areas you think need some work. I'm just tapping this on the perimeter of my face and where my contour meets my foundation. Now we have to get into setting all of our cream products. So I'm going in with my Mercier powder for anywhere that I highlighted. This is in the shade Translucent Honey. And when I do my loose powder, I like a yellow tone powder just because it fits my skin tone a little bit better. How you set with powder is you want to press it into the product. I just poured out some powder into the lid. Press it into the product. Make sure you get an even coat. Tap off the excess because you don't want to apply a whole layer of thick powder on your face. And then I'm going to tap off the excess on my hand. As you can see, I'm just bouncing my sponge in this to help me get an even layer of powder on my sponge. Blend out that under eye one more time before we set. Tilt my head down so that my skin underneath my eye is stretched and press the powder underneath. Bouncing my sponge up and down to make sure the coat of powder is perfect. And she is. Clock it. Same thing on the other eye. Take my brush to blend out any cracks and creases. Tilt my head down to stretch the skin and press the powder. She's perfect. She's perfect. She's perfect. Oh my god. Okay. Now it's time to set any other highlighted areas like my cupid's bow, my chin, my nose, and forehead. I also like to go underneath my contour with some powder just to clean it up a bit. I don't swipe the powder, I tap it and bounce the sponge because I don't want no line swipe underneath my contour. Now, you don't want your makeup moving anywhere and everywhere on your face, which is why every cream product needs to be set with a powder. You need to set her in place, girl. She's not going nowhere, okay? So now we have to set our cream contour. To set my contour, I use my Nars Laguna bronzer. She is just so beautiful and bronzy, the perfect shade. And she's so buttery too, like she's literally my fave. I'm gonna tap this in the area that I cream contoured. Right on top of that, and then I'm gonna do circular motions on my jawline and up to the temple. I'm also gonna sweep this through my eye because we put some cream product there as well, and down my nose. And to do this, I'm using a loose Sephora brush. This is number 79. Now, the only thing we have left to set in place is our blush. With blush, you can have fun with it. It really doesn't matter what blush color you use as long as you feel like it looks beautiful on you. I'm using my Juvias blush palette. This is number 4. It comes with 2 shades, this lighter pink and this hot pink. I kind of mix them both together and do my own little thing and keep applying till I think it's enough. Blush blindness at its finest. With this, I'm taking a loose brush as well. I'm applying it underneath my eye to merge all those products together. I also like to go in with a pressed powder underneath my eyes. This is going to make our under eye look that much more flawless. This is my Maybelline pressed powder in the shade 130. As you can see, she's much lighter than my skin tone, but it's okay because she applies perfectly. When it comes to picking your pressed powder, I like it to be lighter than the concealer I use. So as you can see, I used this yellow tone concealer earlier, but I want some more brightness underneath my eyes. So that's why I choose this shade. But one thing about it, for my brown girls, you never do stark white, okay? This is a light shade. It's not the lightest shade on the wall. Never stark white. She has a tone of yellow. She has a tone of beige, something underneath so that when I apply it to my under eye, it's not giving Clorox. It's not giving bleach white. It's giving lighter, not whiter, okay? You want to be lighter, not whiter underneath the eye. Thank you. This brush is from Villa Beauty. I believe it's F1, but the number is rubbed off. F2, found it. It's actually F2. I'm just tapping the pressed powder underneath and then sweeping across. How beautiful. Love it. Okay, girls, now I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm using my NYX brow pencil. This is in the shade Black. Most of my filling in is going to be in the bottom half of my brow because my front is pretty full. So I just fill that in lightly. Just doing some short strokes throughout my brow. And also, I like the look of a long brow, so I'll go into the front and make some lines. It looks a little crazy right now. Bear with me. Bear with me, girl. We're going to blend her out. And then I take my spoolie and buff her out. I just think it frames my face so much better. How you do your brows is going to be all dependent on your shape. I don't really like to draw a line anymore because I find it looks too harsh. So I'll just continue doing short strokes. Now our base is pretty much done. It's time to add some finishing touches. Finishing touches like mascara, lashes, a lip combo, and some setting spray. Now, if you're going to apply bottom mascara, do it after your setting spray. If you decide to do your bottom lashes before your setting spray, you're going to go in, ooh, bottom mascara all in my eyes, super cute, makeup almost done, let me use some setting spray. Uh-oh. You open your eyes, black all in your under eye. Because that mascara ran, boo. Zone to it. Wait till the end. But I don't really apply bottom mascara, so it doesn't matter for me. But if you were to, you better do it after you set. Just a little tap for the girls. Today for mascara, I'm using Prada's Pradascope. When it comes to picking a lash style, that's all up to you and your preference. I take pretty much all my lashes and cut them in half because I really like how it shapes my eye. It gives me that cat eye look. But you may like something different. The only tip I have for that is using a black lash glue because the white ones, they say dry clear. Does it always dry clear? Not really. I looked crazy a couple of times. So I just use a black one now because it kind of looks like eyeliner. But I would only recommend a black one after you know how to apply your lashes because you don't want black lash glue all over your lid. Not cute. Now, the way I cut my half lashes is I'll take any full lash. As you can see, this is a full strip. And I'll cut it in the middle at an angle because I like a cat eye. But I'll snip off this end tail and then I will take this inner corner throughout the middle of the lash and apply it to the outer corner of my eye. So I just applied this half of the lash. And now it's time for lip combo, my favorite. Let's do the lip combo that I've been loving recently. We're using 2 lip liners. I'm using Makeup Forever's Endless Cacao and Cork from MAC. This is like a super gray tone brown, while this one is a little bit warmer. So I mix them together. We get the perfect middle shade, babe. I like to round out my Cupid's bow. I just think it gives that pouty look to your lips, and I really like it. I remember for the longest, I used to underline my lips because I thought it gave me more definition. What was I thinking, baby? I lined those lips to the rim. Need it all. For lipstick, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Kim KW. Kim KW is my favorite lipstick shade in the world. Charlotte, use it your one. And for my gloss on top, I'm using Revlon's gloss in the shade Sky Pink. And when I'm at home, I apply my lip gloss on a palette because when you continuously zip your wand on your lips and then back in here when your lips have so much pods and lip liners on it, over time you change the color of your gloss. And I don't want that. So when I can, I apply it to my palette. How pretty and dolly is this stinking lip? A perfect nude. Don't worry, my brown girls, I got us. Now it's time to use our setting sprays. For my girls, I want to be locked in all day. You want to go in with your one side setting spray, on till dawn. For my girls, I want to look a little bit more dewy and glowy. You're going to use your Charlotte Tilbury. Now me, I want to do both. Charlotte is going to melt all our powders. As you can see, she added a little bit more glow and shine. So before I do my one side, I like to sweep a layer of powder on top just to absorb some of that. And now our one side. And this is the only makeup routine you'll ever need. Hey girls, so we have officially made it to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed and that all these tips were helpful for my girls who are beginners to makeup. If it was, don't forget to comment down below and tell me all about it, as well as subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And if you want to see some more of me, just follow me on my socials. They're always listed down below. With that being said, I love you all and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.